address is right below it, right? Ship to, again, this ship to address could have been different. It doesn't matter. In this case, what is going on, everyone? Welcome to the Flips Nations channel. My name is Rob, and I'm a six-figure Amazon seller. I've been selling for about 2 years now, doing primarily online arbitrage. And in this video, I'm going to be doing a continuation of my previous Amazon FBA Nike Ungate video. Feedback I've been getting as of late is that Amazon has increased how strict they are at ungating all brands as a whole, but particularly using a KOHL'S invoice for Nike. If you have not yet tried using a KOHL'S invoice first to ungate Nike, I recommend doing that first before you try these few sites that I'll go over in this video. Link will be dropped in the description below for my KOHL'S ungate video. It really goes step by step, so if you're new, I recommend checking out that video. But in this video, I'll go over 3 other sites that my members have found success with attempting to ungate Nike. Speaking of the members, the free group, the Amazon FBA Flips Nation Discord group, is in the link in the description below. Free Amazon content, of course, as well as a free community. But in addition to that, there's a free, 100% free Amazon FBA online arbitrage course. I could put a price tag on it, but I want to have new sellers to find a resource that's 100% free that will help them get off the ground. All I ask in return is you consider dropping a like to this video and subscribing to the channel. It would help me out a lot. And if you have any questions, reach out to me on Instagram at FlipsNations24. You can also talk to me in a Discord group, as well as commenting on this video. I do respond to all the comments, so any questions at all, feel free to comment. Now, let's jump over to my screen and let's get started with this video. I've recently been hearing 3 sites that work, and the first site we will use is soccer.com. And that has been working for sellers, particularly new sellers, so hopefully this can be an alternative for everyone that has not found success with KOHL'S. Keep in mind, Amazon has been increasing how strict they are with ungates than in the past. So ungate does vary from person to person. So always submit more than once, right? Assuming you're providing all the correct information. We'll go over that in a second. But I know people who get approved on their 5th or 6th submission. Me personally, I got approved, I think, my 1st or 2nd. I got approved on Nike about 2 years ago with Eastbay, when Eastbay was still a thing. But I know plenty of people that have been approved with KOHL'S as well. But as of late, I've been hearing that there's difficulty with KOHL'S. So I have found that some people are successful with soccer.com. So I want to go over how to ungate with soccer.com for those who have not found success with other sites for Nike. So I will go through step by step on how to find the correct Nike product and initiate an invoice. But before I do, I want to go over the main points on an ungate, and which is the following, right? So first, find units at a low price so you're spending as little as possible, right? Since capital is so important in this business, that's number 1. Number 2, speaking of units, you will need to show at least 10 units on the invoice. It should show that quantity on the invoice at minimum, right? The product's title on the invoice and picture will also need to match that on the Amazon listing, which we will go over. And then next, when you purchase, the name and billing address on the invoice needs to match the address on file on your Amazon Seller Central account. The shipping can be different, however, the billing must match. The retail store's branding and address must be on the invoice. However, if the store's address does not show, there is a workaround that works for me that I'll share. And finally, the invoice date must be ordered within the last 180 days. So whatever when you're providing your invoice, that date that's showing on that invoice, it must be within the last 180 days from when you submitted that invoice. Now, with that being said, let's begin. So similar to my KOHL'S ungate video, if you haven't watched that video, link in description. KOHL'S still should work. Again, varies person to person. Make sure you're submitting multiple times. If for whatever reason, even on like the 5th or 6th submission, it's not getting approved, just close the case, open a new case, and try again with a new agent, okay? So we're on my screen here, so we're going to search Nike socks. And why Nike socks? Mentioned earlier, they're low in price. And even though with ungates, a profit isn't the intention, there is a high chance you can find a profitable Nike sock listing. So especially during Q4 around this time, you might get lucky and find profit, but that is not the intention, right? This is investment to ungate in the event that you'll be able to find actual profitable Nike listings in the future, right? So like I alluded to earlier, we're going to search Nike socks. All right, so scroll down here and bam, right? So here, right here is the Nike Crew Socks 3-pack. We'll click that. So we're going to copy that right there. I'm going to go over to Amazon. We're going to paste that title here. Now, so we're looking for a 6-pack Nike black crew socks, right? And we want to make sure that it matches. Let's look for the words in the title here. So jumping back over, we're going to see that it has a little dry fit text on the toe, the Nike logo on the top. Let's see. So this, close. This one right here. Cushion crew socks, 3-pair pack. Nike crew socks, 3-pack. All right, so let's check this out. And by the way, guys, before I jump into this, I get asked a lot about how I have all this listing information that pops up here when I hover over the listing. Not even hover, it's already sitting there, right? It's an extension that I use called BuyBot Pro, and it's extremely advantageous when you're sourcing profitable products. And you want to be as efficient as you can with your time, right? And seeing all this information here, rather than going into the listing and checking all the listing information. The beauty of all this information as it pertains to the ASIN, the number of FBA sellers, number of MF or FBM sellers, and you're able to just click the chart button here and you're able to just look at all the chart information. Mostly it's keep information right here before you even jump in. Saves you a lot of time, and what we want to do with our time is make it as efficient as possible when we're sourcing, because sourcing can take a while. I'm sure if you've already begun sourcing for a new seller, it can really drag out. So any way that you can minimize your time, you should take it, right? And that's why I love BuyBot Pro. So link is in the description for BuyBot Pro free trial if you are interested. Anyway, so we can see that the title right here primarily matches that on soccer.com. So BuyBot Pro tells us that there's 5 FBA listings, 4 FBM sellers. The ASIN or the best sellers ranking is around 83,000. So it's not extremely high in sales velocity, but it's decent. Again, it's not relevant for ungating, but if you are trying to keep profitability in the back of your mind, I did want to point this out as well. So not super saturated, sellers rank not the best, but overall, as far as this picture goes, dry fit on the toe, Nike logo on the top, and then the title, crew socks, Nike 3-pack. It does in fact match soccer.com's listing. Jumping back over here, we can see matches. It is a 3-pack, not a 6-pack. But however, this right here, and it's good that we found this item incorrect first. This size is an extra large. If we go back over here, we don't have an extra large here, right? So let's go back. See if we can't find another one here. All right. This one right here, okay? This one is 5 FBA sellers, 18 FBM sellers. The BSR 1880, the sales velocity extremely high, much higher than the one we saw previously, but it does have variations. But let's check it out. All right, so Nike crew socks 3-pack, dry fit text on the toe, Nike logo on the top. There's a lot of variations. And something else I want to mention, again, if you keep profitability in the back of your mind, right? This show variations tool, again, with BuyBot Pro, it's amazing. Like literally the variation tab. We can see from right here, we can toggle the reviews. There's 31 reviews. This black color has the most reviews as far as percentage overall from the parent listing. And this bar graph makes it easy to read. Black holds the most sales. And we're saying most sales just because we're inferring, right? It's holding the highest percentage hold of reviews. So we're going to assume that's also selling the most. Let's go check out this black. Let me just click it right here. Goes to the black variation. And thankfully, this does have a small, medium, or large. So let's check it out. Large. Again, profitability in the back of your mind. Large is selling at $28. Medium is selling at right here. Let's go with this. The sell price on BuyBot Pro extension usually has the buy box price, excuse me, $30.99. So the medium selling more than large. Small is selling for $27.49. So makes sense naturally just to go with the highest price, just so you can get your money, most of your money back. let's go back over to soccer.com. So, oh, let's see, let's say large. So large is on back order, unfortunately. It's got medium back order, small back order. Nonetheless, example purposes, you can keep searching for another listing, but as far as being able to purchase this, we can. And this is the listing that I would sell it on. Now, this price right here is $17.99. Maybe there's a sale or something, we don't know. Let's put in the large. This one right here. This listing. The medium is selling for $30.99, I believe, right? $30.99. Price is $17.99. Baba Pro will tell you if you can sell an item or not. It'll tell you if it's a hazmat, if you're eligible. If I'm logged in, I'm not logged in right now. But if I was logged in, it would tell me, can I sell this? Yes, it'll have a green light on it. As far as the profitability goes, barely profiting, right? $2. It's not much, but if you're able to ungate and make money off of it, why not, right? So this listing, medium variation, selling for the highest buy box price, does make profit. But aside from the profit, it matches everything we want. Just one more time, 3-pack Nike Crew socks. Come back over here, Nike Crew socks 3-pack, Nike logo on top, dry fit text in the bottom. And it's going to be a medium that we're going to purchase. Now, you want to make sure that you're grabbing the correct ASIN, right? So I can just click here, copy the ASIN. If you don't have an extension, no worries. The B07 ending in WS should also be up here. Here it is on the top of your in the URL. The ASIN's always going to be in the URL. There's a parent listing, and then there's all the children listing. This is a variation of the parent listing, so we're going to copy the ASIN that is actually on the variation. Of course, if you switch to like another variation, there's going to be a new ASIN. So make sure you are grabbing the correct ASIN when you're trying to add it to the inventory to Ungate. Okay. All right. So what I say at the very beginning of the video, you need to have at least, your invoice should show a minimum of 10 units. So we're going to have 10 units. We're going to have the black color variation. If for whatever reason, when you're watching this video, the black sold out, apply the same procedure and try the white one. They have the white one. Is this one also? Yeah, this one's back ordered, but the medium and the XL is available right now. Black, some more variations available. If you want to grab 10 of them, you want to add it to cart. Right? Back ordered, but we are successfully able to add it to cart. All right, so now that's done. Let's go over how you would actually submit this to eventually get ungated. All right, so once you get the box or the shipment to your house, you want to open up the box and get the invoice that's inside the box, right? Now, when you get this invoice, you want to highlight certain things for the Amazon agent just to make it easier for them, just to streamline the process. You want them to see exactly what they're looking for as far as the requirements. So as an example, I have an old Eastbay invoice that I used back a year ago to ungate Converse. So let's open that up right here. And just some things I want to show. I've whited out my address, but we can see the Eastbay logo clearly showing on the top left here, right? We can see there's 10 orders, 10 units, quantity right there. You can hardly see it, but it says QTY, quantity 10. Shows a product name. At this point, I had the Converses. And then also up here on the top, we have the date. At that time, it was within the last 180 days, right? We also have the address of Eastbay. You want to make sure you have the address as well. You can white out the price. I left the price in there. And finally, I know I've whited it out, but it says my name, bill to, which is going to be my name, and then the address is right below it, right? Ship to, again, this ship to address could have been different. It doesn't matter. In this case, it was sent to the same billing address, but the billing part is the important part. You want that billing address and name to match what's on your Amazon Seller Central account. All right, so first off, you want to go ahead and grab the ASIN of the product we're trying to add to get ungated, right? So this Nike listing right here, this Nike socks, we're going to copy the ASIN. And if you don't have BuyBot Pro, you can copy it from up here. And then once you have that ASIN copied, you want to go back over to your Amazon inventory. Now, let me rewind a little bit. Go to your inventory tab, try to add a product. Then you're going to come over to the screen. I don't want to go to my inventory because it shows all my listings and whatnot, and I got to do a lot of blurring out. So Apologize for that. Now, if you want to see how to add to inventory, you can go to my Ungate video from KOHL'S. That link will be below in the description. That I have step by step how to add the product and everything. Everything's blurred out. Did a lot of work on that video. But once you get to this page, you want to paste your ASIN right here in the search tab. I've pasted an ASIN that I know I'm gated on because I am ungated on Nike, so that would make no sense for me to use that. But I have an ASIN here that I am gated on. So for example purposes, I'm going to use this one. You would, however, copy over the ASIN that you found from the listing that you're trying to get ungated on. It doesn't have to be this one. Remember, this is just the process, right? It could be any other listing as long as everything matches from what I've said thus far. So we're going to search. All right, so I obviously can't sell it, right? It has the apply to sell button. So we're going to select new and apply to sell. So then we have this request approval button. We're going to click request approval. All right, so here we are. We have to select one of the document types below, at least one purchase invoice for the product from a manufacturer or distributor. All right, so clicked on at least one purchase invoice for products from a manufacturer or distributor, right? Distributor can also mean retail store in this case. Also, if you have a real distributor, you can get an invoice from them, same, right? So what does it say right here? Dated on or after June 8th within 180 days, as we've stated, must be on your invoice. Includes your name, address, matching information on your seller's account. Includes the name and address of the manufacturer or distributor, check. Shows the combined purchases of at least 10 units. You can omit the pricing if you want, doesn't matter. And you'll select the file and drop it here. Optional comment, I just say something just quick. Greetings, attached is the invoice with the relevant information highlighted for your convenience. And that's it. Then just hit submit. Remember, make sure everything is highlighted. Make sure everything states here. I know some people came back to me after submitting something, and I take a look at their invoice. By the way, if you want any kind of coaching done, you can visit my website in the description below. The website shows leads list offerings, as well as the free course. By the way, Amazon FBA free course packed with information. Little plug. But there's a coaching option involved if you need it. And I've had some people that opt into the coaching, and I took a look at their invoices. Even though I went through every single step in the KOHL'S Nike Ungate guide, they were still missing some things. And one of the things that they were missing was showing the minimum purchase of the units and showing the date. The date is very important because they want to make sure you bought this product recently, right? You can't use an invoice a year ago or anything over 180 days. So make sure every single one of these things are highlighted. You can rewind back to the invoice example that I showed you. I will say the invoice, I know I mentioned something about a picture. The invoice doesn't show a picture. Most of them don't. It's okay. I like to show a picture whenever there's an authenticity claim, and it's the order confirmation email. A lot of those emails from retail stores on the order confirmation on their website or the email shows the picture, and that just bodes you well to get authenticated. Or get your appeal approved. But as far as this goes, as far as Ungate goes and what you need for invoices, these are the things they need. A picture is not necessary, although it does help. I doubt an invoice really shows a picture. And by the way, you don't have to scan in your invoice. Honestly, if you try to scan the invoice, it gets a little blurry for them. Best way to do it is take a picture of it, upload it to your computer, and then make the necessary edits like the highlighting function, or just, it doesn't have to be a highlight. You're allowed to highlight things, right? I know some people get spooked because they think they're altering the document. That's not the case. Amazon is okay with you highlighting things, especially if it makes their job easier, right? What you can't do is actually try to fragment and change things on the invoice. I see a lot of those kind of recommendations out there. I highly, vehemently disagree with that. Do not try to change things on the invoice. Only highlight, keep everything as is. Amazon's going to identify if you're trying to play with that PDF. And yeah, it doesn't have to be PDF either. It even says right here. It can be a JPEG, it can be DocX, whatever. I like to convert everything to PDF. It just feels a little more professional and authentic. But either way, don't scan it. It gets blurry. Just take a picture, upload it, edit. Make sure everything that's pertinent for the submittal is there, and just hit submit. First one or second one I'm going to go over is Dick's Sporting Goods. Same thing. Look for Nike socks, Nike Crew socks. 3-pack will probably give you the lower buying price versus a 6-pack. However, you want to just take what they can get. Looks like I'm not even seeing that available right here, 6-pack. But remember, this is a Nike Kids, so you got to look for the kids listing, right? But the process remains the same. Oh, here it is, adults, 6-pack, $24. See, a little more expensive. Looks like they don't have a 3-pack available. So far, soccer.com still has the lower capital required for a Nike Ungate. But same process apply, purchase, make sure the invoice information matches. And the other one that's been working for people that I've heard is champs.com. I'll go there real quick if this hurry up and loads. But it would be the same concept. Can't spell Nike socks. All right, same concept. There was a 6-pack. See the name changes here. Nike Everyday Kush Crew. Stick with the Crew socks. This one doesn't say Crew, so I might hesitate upon buying this one. Looks like none of them say Crew, but either way, it shouldn't affect it too much. As long as it has Nike socks and the dry fit, should bode you well. But for me personally, just to increase that approval percentage, I would stick with that soccer.com or Dick's because they do say Crew in them at least. But again, I'm really nitpicking at this point. It should probably be fine, but the same process goes. So those are the 3: soccer.com, Champs, and Dick's Sporting Goods. I hope this was helpful for you guys. Again, I know trying to ungate can cause a lot of stress because maybe you're not getting approved and you're submitting over and over again. Maybe you're like, hey, I've tried 10, 12, 13 times. Amazon has gotten more strict. That's what I've heard. Fortunately for me, I did the Ungate for Nike a couple years ago, and I used Eastbay invoice, and it worked out just fine for me. Unfortunately, today's a different day. It's a little more strict on the ungating, but keep trying. Again, try. If it doesn't work after like the 6 or 7 submittal, close the case, try a new case. Again, the extension that I used earlier was BuyBot Pro. Really great tool. I use it every day for profiting purposes. I'm going to show a sourcing video here soon on how I actually use all the elements like that variation tool, the sales estimator tool, all these different kinds of tools that BuyBot Pro has to offer. Really great tool for sourcing purposes. This is not relevant, but I want to at least mention that. Also, there is 100% absolutely free Amazon FBA OA course on my website. You go to wap.com/flipsnation right here. You click this. We have our leads list. The weekly option, lower price point if you want to kind of try us out first. But of course, $0 free Flips Nation Amazon FBA course. I'm telling you, it's a lot of information, guys. I didn't just take like a day to do this. It took a long time, and boom, I was able to purchase it quickly because it's free. And if you go in here, jam packed. If I go to part 1, you can get all this ungating. All the videos are here. Bunch of information on how to make an account, what models work for you, supplies, all this kind of stuff people would charge a hefty amount for. I'm doing for 100% free. Okay, so regarding the Dick's Sporting Goods Ungate method and Champs, members have told me that they did not use an invoice. They actually just used the order confirmation, or just if you go in the orders tab and go over to your order, you can just take a screenshot of that. Make sure you follow all the other steps. And in this event, you will have the picture. I know I mentioned the picture, and invoices usually don't have a picture, but if you're using a online order confirmation, obviously there's gonna be a picture. So for Champs and Dick's Sporting Goods, wait for it to come in the mail. Maybe you'll get an invoice. If you do not, just go to your accounts, go to your order summary, and find that order number and take a snapshot and make sure you highlight everything that is relevant that we've gone over so far. All right, so just want to say, if you just started selling on Amazon, you really want to make a concerted effort at being very meticulous and spending a lot of time and become obsessed with learning keeper graphs. I've been selling for almost 2 years now, so I've seen hundreds and hundreds of keeper graphs. I've analyzed all my bad buys. And when you first start selling on Amazon, you really want to subject yourself to as much Amazon content as possible, but you want to make sure you're getting the correct information, right? There's so much content creators out there, and this is prevalent more so in the private label community, where there's a lot of people that are just being very disingenuous with information. A lot of new sellers come in with the shiny object syndrome. So people are just placating to that emotion, right? And just giving you information that are just erroneous and just egregious. The worst thing you can do as a new Amazon seller is take on bad information, right? So I try to put people that I find are transparent and I try to interview them on this platform. If you scroll into my videos, you'll find that I've interviewed 5, 6 other sellers who are doing way better than me because I've viewed their content over the last year and I find them to be transparent and straightforward. And they don't just give you fluff, right? They give you actual substance. My content as well, I try to give you real substance. I don't want to tell you, hey, you'll get rich selling on Amazon in 3 days, in a week, in 4 weeks. While that could be true for some people, for the majority, that is not the case. It takes a while for this business to get off the ground, but it doesn't really happen until you start and really put in the reps. Now, this is not an indictment on any other person giving you advice. I personally just think that if you're a new seller, make sure you're consuming the right information, apply some discernment. Know when someone's telling you fluff, right? Let's listen to them, right? If they're really giving you substance, you can hear it. If they're not giving you substance, if they're not giving you like a coherent plan in your Amazon business, then it's probably BS. And that's really also why I've added that free course, because in this community where there's a lot of fluff, I'm hoping that that free course at least steers some sellers who find my video and find my content towards a free resource that will help them get off the ground. With that being said, consider joining the group. Free content there, as well as a free course. I have a leads list if you're interested, as well as coaching if you're interested. But you don't really need any of that when you first start. You want to just do your own sourcing, learn your own sourcing methods, learn to keep a product finder. I have free, 100% free sourcing video. That's also in the link below, where I go detailed step by step in various different sourcing methods. That includes keep a product finder. That includes reverse sourcing, manual sourcing, how to really minimize your buy cost to get to maximize your profit per unit. And then I also talk about how to scale, right? Hiring VAs, where to find virtual assistants, how to hire them, what kind of models that I adhere to with my VAs, and how I use them and utilize them to help scale my business, as well as the pros and cons of Prep Center, when to FBM, when to FBA. All that kind of information is true substance that I try to put out in the ecosystem. And I hope that's just valuable content for you and anyone else that just started selling on Amazon. Again, all the links are in the description below. If you want BuyBot Pro, great tool, that's also in the link below. I hope you found this video helpful. Please consider liking, subscribing to the channel, and I will see you guys on the next video.